Hello there and welcome to the experimental preview of Update 31. First of all, let's kick this off with the Miner's Manual. You can now preview all enemies along with their respective weaknesses, resistance and the amount of them you've killed in this little tab here. This is pretty huge for newer players as it gives them a clear and easy way to learn about enemies. However, you must encounter and kill an enemy to have access to it on this page. The only thing I would change about this is having a statistics option where you can see the actual raw numbers as opposed to a bar, but you know, other than that, it's a pretty nice addition. New secondary objectives. So there's been 3 new secondaries added and new missions will be coming hopefully in the next update. First of all, we have Gunk Seeds by Uncle... Shit. First of all, we have Gunk Seeds by Uncle's balls. What are those? Those ball-like plants, also known as gunk seeds, are the new secondary objective. They can be found littering the ceilings of caves. They have some very interesting physics mechanics, and when destroyed drop a carryable object which can be deposited into the mule, of course, adding 1 gunk seed to your objective counter, with the total amount needed to complete the objective being 8. I do have one question for the developers though. Surely you knew this was going to happen. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to Ebernuts. Ebernuts, no browning... no... Sorry, I can't help myself. Ebernuts! No browning points for guessing which voice line will be pinged the most in the next coming patch. Well, in the upcoming patch. An Ebernut shell requires 3 melee hits to destroy. You can only destroy it with your pickaxe, you can't destroy it with any other form of weaponry, and they contain a singular nut within. On collection, this nut is placed into your mineral bag. You'll need to collect 12 Ebernuts to complete the objective. It's speculated that Ebernuts are related to the Ebonite glyphids that you can see in the mission events. The reason why we speculate that they are related is A, the name, B, they are melee only, and C, the material going around the nut looks vaguely familiar to the Ebonites. So we can assume that they are somehow interlinked, and I'd love to see some lore on that in the future. Next up, Festa Fleas, the first killable secondary. We need more of these. Festa Fleas, they spawn in packs of 4 from what we've seen, and will typically fly off quickly when approached or hurt. They seem to be weak to the flamethrower and focus shots from the M1000. Anything without burst damage or AoE may find them slightly annoying. The kills needed to satisfy the objective is 8. Though I do hope they buff it to 12 or perhaps 16, as they are quite easy to kill and I like killing things a lot, so we'll see. Now up for the first time in a long time, a new enemy. Not only is it a new enemy, it's technically a new event / boss, similar to Betsy. The Tyrant-Weed was previously known as a Hydra and was worked on in previous builds but never got to life in any shape or form. This is their current iteration of the Hydra and it is absolutely monstrous. It's a monstrosity. It's monstrous. That's all I can say. On higher hazard levels, this thing is no joke at the moment. That may change with balancing tweaks and whatnot. It tends to eat up ammo very fast. You will need a lot of ammo to kill everything. We'll just jump into it. You have a central plant which we'll call the Tyrant just for simplicity's sake, and it can spawn 2 types of enemies, a Corlock Spit and a Healing Pod. The Corlock Spit is a mini spitballer and will probably be referred to as a mini spitballer. Ain't nobody got time to pronounce stuff. If it hits you, it hurts like hell. That's all you need to know. Don't get hit by it. Second thing you need to know, if you shoot the projectile, you can destroy it in the same way that you would with a spitballer. So that's good at least. Healing pods will quickly regenerate the living daylights out of the Tyrant. On the experimental patch notes, it's been noted that they are going to tweak this and reduce the effectiveness down, but oh my god, this is why we play experimental. This right here is absolutely beautiful and balanced in every way, shape and form. Pay attention to the rays emitted by the Tyrant when it's spawning creatures. Green rays means that they'll be spawning spitballers, and if you see a pink ray, that is a healing pod. If you see a healing pod being spawned, immediately destroy it. The current iteration of it will have it heal up to thirds of its health. So if it's below 1/3, it will heal up to 1/3, and so on and so forth with all subsequent thirds. Same for the second, third, and the full health as well. With all these aspects of the Tyrant-Weed covered, it's proving quite the challenge. When killed, the Tyrant will drop 1 to 3 Tyrant shards, which can be deposited for reward of credits and XP. Also, we have some biome updates. Radioactive got a fair few changes. First of all, we have these new columns that will spawn somewhat rarely, depending on the map generation, and they look fantastic. They make great spots for platforms, they make good areas to drill to make staircases. I could see scouts using them. Absolutely fantastic, love them to bits. We need more of these sort of things. Also, another type of structure can spawn in the radioactive zone. It's known as Error 19. It's a material shaped in the form of a DNA helix, which can spawn occasionally. When it's pinged, it will give you standard error voice lines, and mining it out provides no minerals. However, it does have its own unique mining sound. We won't spoil it for you, and I'll let you guys go ahead and find that for yourselves. Fungus Bogs got some... Well, it got some changes. It got a single change, but it is a much needed change. The giant xenofungus finally got some attention and received a much needed update. It now looks more like its counterparts and is looking pretty swish. Pretty swish indeed. Last up of the biome changes, we have dense biozone. Feels slightly different now. Just slightly. I can't put my finger on it. Okay, it's very different, let's be honest. I guess this is the closest we're going to get to quote unquote a water biome. Just without the water, of course. I'm loving the biome changes so far though, and I hope to see more in the future. Other changes don't tab out yet. We have a new gag beer, Smart Stout. What it does is when you drink it, it will say smart lines. We'll call them smart lines. I don't know about smart. They're supposed to be smart, so we'll just go with that. It has 0 impact on gameplay, of course, because it's a gag beer, and there are 2 lines of interest when used the beer. If you don't want any spoilers, mute the video now. If not, let's listen in.
The Smart Stout works! I just figured out what the error cubes are for. You take 5 error cubes and you insert them into the... it's gone. I don't recall this! It's so bloody obvious! Wait, anyone up for playing the hoop game?
I'll let you guys speculate on this one in the comments, as it's far beyond my comprehension, honestly. Next up, we have space rig changes. There have been several areas of the space rig spruced up. We have the wardrobe area, which was improved drastically. Talk about pimp my wardrobe. Don't be surprised if you see further tweaks during the experimental or indeed in upcoming patches. And as I am doing this recording, I've noted several other changes in one of the more recent patch notes to the space rig area, so do keep your eyes out. We won't put all of them in, we don't want to ruin them all, but yes, it's starting to look very, very polished indeed. Oh, before I forget, they added a fridge into the bar area. Now this I will mention and slightly spoil for you guys. The devs openly said they are looking into ways of getting fan art to be pinned onto this fridge. Very cool. No pun intended on that one. Smaller changes. Some of these are very important bug fixes relating to heightened sensors, so stay tuned. Important bug fixes and small visual changes include improved materials on the Brood Nexus. Nexus got some love and now looks different, though I'm not too sure how I feel about it. It kind of reminds me of Borderlands, but I'm not too sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Leeches will now lure players when killed with the heightened sensors perk, which is awesome because it used to just drop you. So that's a nice change. That's a fantastic little thing they've added there. They've renamed private game to friends only. This doesn't change how it works at all. It's the same functionality, it's just got a different name. For those of you out there who have photosensitivity, there has been a photosensitivity mode added. I'm not too sure on the specifics of changes. I do know that blinking lights are affected by this mode, if I'm not mistaken. So that will probably help you out a little bit. They've also added a failsafe for salvage operations for when mules get stuck. For those of you who don't know, Molly could sometimes get stuck on salvage operations just walking back and forth. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, as you can quite clearly see, this bug has been fixed. If you listen very carefully, you can hear they fixed the audio cue on it. So this bug is now what we would consider fixed. Fix the bug that enables scouts to grapple into gems and protective barriers. A moment of silence for our Has5 scout brothers, as more of the fun things have been fixed. And that pretty much draws us to the end of all the patches so far that we have. It's looking pretty good. This is, from what I understand, everything that was going to be in the updates 30 that didn't make it in, they are putting into update 31, and afterwards they are looking into more gameplay related changes for Deep Rock Galactic. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you like our content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, that's cool, I guess. And yeah, we'll catch you all in the next video.